Hey my friends, thank you for joining me here at my channel. In this painting we are going to be using a palette of blues and pinks, and we're going for a beautiful outcome in a ring pour. This painting does not go as planned at first, and it's one of those things where I had to work it, and 3 times was kind of a charm, I guess. I think that saying applies. But anyway, it was a little trying to get to a pretty end result. However, it does make for a very interesting video, and I'm sure it'll help you within your own artistic journey of finding ways to make something turn out pretty when it's not going your way at first. So it looks really good, except it doesn't look good once it starts hitting the canvas. I immediately get a ball in my stomach when I see how red that looks down there. Now, of course, as we stretch this out, it will lighten up. And in fact, I tend to not use a lot of extremely light pale colors in my ring pours or straight pours because I do layer with white quite a bit, and I have found in some of my earlier paintings that the white just makes really light colors get really pale. So I tend to go for a little bit more medium tones, figuring that the white is going to give me some of those lighter shades, and then I'll end up with an outcome that I really want. But in this case, all I'm seeing is what looks like a whole bunch of red, and my stomach is in a knot already just looking at the puddle. I do like all the cells and the lacing designs over there in that upper right corner. Of course, I'm adding my flow extender right here, and most of you probably know what that is, but I mention it from time to time for those of you who might be watching who are new to fluid art. And the flow extender just helps this puddle move so that the paint doesn't roll over on itself. Now, because of this beautiful cell activity going on in this corner, I'm going to pour this off first, anchoring this down so that I end up with this on my canvas. Of course, I might still not be keeping this painting in one fashion or another because I am very concerned that this is going to really come across as looking much more on the red, white, and blue color scheme than it's going to be looking like pink and blue, which is the whole entire idea. So my thoughts, honestly, as I'm pouring this already, are more along the lines of, am I going to be letting this dry for a day or two and then pouring over it, taking a second shot at this painting? Or is this going to end up in the trash, completely scrapped, as I have done from time to time when a painting has not gone my way? And the answer to that usually has more to do with how much paint is on the surface below, meaning how many times I've taken a stab at the painting, and if it still didn't work out, the easiest way to not trash the house is to just wrap everything up in the plastic protection layer underneath and throw the whole thing away than it is to try to figure out where to move it without dripping paint and letting it dry. Look at that center. It's horrible. Look at how dark red that is. So that deep maroonish color ideally was to create depth within the pinks, and had it ended up near the pinks, which it does in some of that area that's toward the lower left, as of the way we're looking at it right now, it actually does read the way that I had in mind. But in that center next to that blue is also not reading in the way that I had imagined, and I'm realizing that that one particular shade of blue is kind of a nemesis, and that burgundy color, that maroon color being right next to it, is absolutely catastrophic. Even these other areas where this maroon is next to that corally pink color, it's just not reading right. And I'm so concerned, my friends, that this painting is a wash. There is not much in me at this point that has a lot of hope that this is going to come out good. This one area where I was waving my hand, that actually does look pretty nice. It's pretty much pink and beautiful, but this center area, oh no, that's horrible. And it's right in the center. So I'm filling up another cup because I'm realizing that over to the left there, and the way that that's opened up, that actually is pretty nice. There's a lot of pinks in there. It's really pretty. So I'm starting to think, okay, I didn't have enough paint anyway. If I just add some more, this could work out. But I mean, I actually do need a thin layer going across it if I even have a prayer of letting this canvas dry and pouring over it, because I would need that layer to be even across the board, right? So I have to at least get a thin layer of paint consistently everywhere. But while I'm at it, let's see if we can save this. Now I'm already realizing this area that I'm pouring right now, this lower area that I'm working across, the colors are just a little too thin together. I don't think that's going to open up in a nice way, that whole little last section that I did. I think I just didn't have enough paint left in that waterfall cup, and I'm realizing I think that's going to still come across in a way that I'm just not going to like. So yeah, I was referring to this area where I'm covering over right now, and I really wanted to make that clear. So look, now we're getting a better result because I actually just refilled paint, but in a normal cup this time, not the waterfall cup. Of course, I'm running a little low on it now, and I'm thinking, well, I like what's there that I newly added, but I am going to need more paint down there probably, and I'm going to need more paint up there in that corner. And I'm just going to add some more there. So when the paint is coming out in thicker ribbons, I am getting more of that pink and blue look, but when it starts to thin out too much and there's not much paint left in the cup, then I'm getting coloring in what's coming out. This is that culprit, that blue. If I would have just left that blue out of the original equation, things might have gone better, but you know, it looked good in my palette. And sometimes it goes that way. And the maroon, that burgundy maroon color, that was a problem too, but it really was a problem in how it turned out too close to that blue. And I had been very careful in the way I'd layered my cups. I made sure all the pink colors, including that maroon, and all the blue colors were separated by really nice strong layers of white, because I didn't want them blending together making purple. Right? So how that middle came out with that light blue so close to that burgundy like that, I don't know, but it just ended up reminding me of like the 4th of July or the American flag or the French flag, or I don't know, I think the British flag is red, white, and blue too. Well, there's probably a lot of flags that are red, white, and blue, and it just reminded me of a red, white, and blue flag. Not what I was going for. Alright, I'm sorry, my head had blocked when I wrecked that first swirl, and again, my head blocks this one too. I didn't realize that was happening, so I apologize, and I'll do my best to be more mindful of that in the future. I don't like blocking your view, especially when I do fun little things. And I know I enjoy watching those, and I imagine you would too. So when I'm waving my hand like that, I'm just considering how do I want to go? Should I wreck it here? And I sometimes will do a mock motion. I learned that in drawing, actually. Sometimes you can do a mock motion before you put the pencil down on the page, and it can really help you come out with a more ideal line or sketch line or something like that. So the next thing I do, if I would have done this differently, this next thing I'm about to do, I think I might have gotten to keep the area that I'd so much like to keep, which is that beautiful pink. It was the original part of the pour from that very first pour that I actually liked. So it's over there toward that middle left section, and then swinging up through that left upper section, that upper left section, but not where I added the new paint in that corner. I wanted to keep that, but what I was forgetting was that when you already stretch out a pour, then the new paint is going to just push right through it because you don't have a thick layer of what's already there. So I ended up thinking I should tilt toward that corner because I wanted to keep that the most, which is the theory when the puddle is in its intact form. It works that way. But because the paint was already stretched out there and there was so much weight in that new puddle, it basically just torpedoed right through it and pushed all that beautifulness off the canvas. If I would have come toward me with that area that I was just moving my hand forward where all that bright pink is, if I would have tilted that way first, I probably would have been able to keep those beautiful ribbons that I liked. But I also liked this strong pink area too, and I wanted to keep that also. In fact, there was areas on every corner with the new additions that I made that I wanted to keep. And that's one of the problems when there is more paint than you need on a canvas. Sometimes you're just going to have to choose what's going to be tossed away. Now, at this point, I love everything that's on this canvas. Look at how beautiful all of it is. I love the big contrasting parts down here on the right. And I love all those fine lines and the lighter colors that come forth on the left. But there's so much paint on this canvas. Look at how fast this paint's moving. There's no way I can keep all of that paint. So I had to make a choice and I had to pour some of it off. But man, was I kind of sad inside to see some of that go. I really didn't want to lose that. But I did end up able to pour some of it off. It's still really pretty in the composition, and I really love how there are so many contrasting areas. It really gives the composition a nice balance. We've got strong, larger sections with this dark blue and bright pink over here toward the right lower side, and again touching on that in that right upper corner. And then we've got some of the finer lines, and we've got a lot of lighter blues and pinks because of that coming into the mix a little bit more on this left side and then going up to that top left side. So in the end, I think we have a really nice balance, and I'm overall extremely pleased with the results. I'm not sure if my aunt will love this, and it's for her. And so if not, that's fine. I can always do another one in this color palette. And again, my friends, anytime something goes wrong, well, hey, we can learn something from it. There's also a beautiful little heart up there. It's not all the way to the top, but it's toward the right. I'll put an arrow so you can see it. I love this heart, so it's to my wonderful aunt. My aunt is this lovely, she's always this person that was bubbly and fun, and it was always everyone's joy to be around her. So that's one thing I do like about this outcome, is I feel like it really represents the way that she always was whenever I was with her. I had so much fun with her whenever I got to see her. And one time I even got to go spend a summer with her. She lived in Northern California at that time. She still does right now, but she will be moving from there soon. And I was in Southern California, so I got to go spend an entire summer with her. We had the best fun. It was amazing. And I think when I went home, I believe that was the first time that I was on a plane by myself. And this aunt, she just is a spunky, fun-loving person. She always was laughing. She had the cutest giggle and laugh that I loved hearing. And she just, always reminded me of bright sunshininess, you know, and I think that's why everyone loved being around her. And I remember one time some of my family members who also lived in Southern California around where we did, all pitched in and got an airline ticket so that my aunt, her name's Lori, they flew her down for my grandmother's Christmas present. The same grandmother I made that purple painting for recently that I showed on my channel. And so they got this refrigerator box. I don't even know where they got it from. And they hid Lori in it, and they wrapped it all up with Christmas paper and a big bow. And it was in the den, the same den I was talking about in that other painting that I did for my grandmother. And my grandmother would spend time putting together these amazing puzzles. She was so good at putting together puzzles. And I would hang out with her and listen to the music that I was talking about in that video. And anyway, so same den, Christmas tree was there, all the presents. And so my grandma opens up this box and out pops Lori, and like everyone just had the best time. It was so fun. It was, I don't have a lot of memories that I recall from my childhood, but there are certain ones just really stand out, and that was definitely one of them. So anyway, I hope that you like this, my beautiful Auntie Lori. I had always had so much fun with you, and so I hope you like this. But you know, it's no biggie if it's not your cup of tea, because I want you to be happy with whatever you have hanging on the wall. I want you to not only think about my love for you and the creation of the painting, but I want you to really actually like what you're looking at. So I do think this is fun. I ended up with the result that I like, but if you'd rather have something else, that's fine too. I'll take another go at it. So here are the close-up results, and remember, this is part of a Premier Train, and all of my Premier Train partners do wonderful work, so you can catch their links in the description below. And if you are here at the time of premiere, remember to hang with us in our train and watch everyone else who's coming after me.